Plaintiff Jesse Walmsley met the defendant on an online dating site, and soon after meeting, the defendant moved in with Jesse. Jesse claims he and the defendant eventually broke up, and he's suing her today for car payments and concert tickets. Defendant Veronica Boehner says while dating, Jesse relapsed and started drinking heavily, and as a result, he became verbally abusive. Veronica claims things got so bad that she had to file a restraining order against him, and she insists she doesn't owe him for anything.
Start with you.
Well, Miss Veronica and I met in 2014 in May over the internet through a dating website. And it became very clear to us after we started communicating online that we had been living in the same city and attending a lot of the same music. And we're actually quite surprised that we had not previously met one another. We started.
How big is the town?
Seattle, so it's a pretty big city, but a small music scene that we're talking about. And so we started dating, and we hit it off rather quickly. And by July of that year, we both realized that we were spending just about every day together anyway. So we decided to move in at that point.
And what was that like?
You know, we were falling in love. We were going out socially. We were meeting one another's friends, and it felt good. We both have children from a previous relationship. We began taking on shared household.
Were you helping with any of the bills?
Was I helping with any of the bills?
Yes, sir.
I was paying a great deal of the bills, sir.
Okay. And it was your home or hers?
It was mine that she moved into.
Uh-huh. Okay. And she paid some?
She did. I was unemployed at the very beginning of our relationship for the first couple of months, so she did pay quite a bit of bills in the first couple of months.
Okay. Ma'am, how long was he unemployed to your recollection?
From the time that we started seeing each other until September of 2014.
All right. Let me hear more from you. I got background from him.
For the first part of our relationship, things were going really well. But then in January of 2015, around the time that we purchased a vehicle, Jesse became very verbally abusive, and we bordered on splitting up, but then he agreed to get some treatment and we stayed together.
Treatment for?
He had an incidence of relapse in drinking.
You got mean drunks and you got nice drunks. Nice drunks just fall asleep. They may try to get involved with you, but they can't like they want. So they fall asleep. Then mean drunks, they don't try to get involved with it. They just go off and start talking crazy, abusive for no reason. Now, was he a mean drunk or was he a loving, one of the lover type drunks that couldn't really love?
Yeah.
Huh? Hey, you get sloppy drunk, you can't do nothing. Go ahead, man.
No, he's definitely a mean drunk.
Okay. And did you notice that's when he turned mean and abusive? Is only when he drank?
Yes. So we stayed together, and then in the summer, he again started becoming very verbally abusive, and even locked me out of a hotel room while we were in New York for a night. And so I ended up spending the night in the hotel lobby. After we got back to Seattle, I started staying with friends and only living in the house with him.
Never got back together after the hotel incident?
We didn't fully split up for a little while because I thought we were going to be able to work things out. But then at the beginning of September, I had a diabetic incident where my blood sugar crashed while I was driving. And after that, he hid the car keys because he said I should not be driving the car. I ended up filing a restraining order to get a order forcing him to give me the car back until the matter.
And that's when you moved?
Yes.
All right. Sir, I heard her testimony regarding the relationship, heard yours. Now let's get to the car payments. How does she owe you for car payments and concert tickets?
Your Honor, may I counter Ms. Boehner at all? I disagree. I did not relapse, nor was I intoxicated. There's another portion to this story that I think we've missed here. And that particular portion is that Ms. Boehner is a type 1 diabetic and often struggles with maintaining her blood sugar, as she mentioned before. When that happens, she ends up in a violent rage and often is blacked out and does not remember things and often finds my behavior abusive and that of the paramedics that come to save her life.
I mean, hallucinating that your behavior is abusive.
She has difficulty sometimes recollecting the actual events that
No,
occurred.
but you say you've never been abusive.
We've gotten into arguments for sure.
Now, you heard what she said. Is that true or not?
I know. I totally disagree. with
Okay, then she's hallucinating. You remember, she blacks out and she doesn't recall what happened. If she does think that happened, she's hallucinating. Got it.
That's not.
I know that's what
That's
you
not
said.
that far from the truth. Yeah.
I know it's not far from the truth. I know that's what you said. Go ahead. So let's get to the money. Let's see who was hallucinating on this money. Go ahead. What happened with the car payments?
All right. So with the car payments, Your Honor.
When did you? Whatever the transaction occurred, when did it occur?
So we attempted to get married in December of 2014. On the 30th, we decided we were going to get married in Colorado and Denver, and we were lacking the paperwork to be able to follow through with it while we were on vacation there. When we came back, she was in need of a car and did not qualify to purchase her own car. So in January of 2015, I used both my income and my credit and a down payment that I put forward to help her purchase a vehicle so she would have a daily driver to get to school and work and such. I take public transit. And so that breakdown is that I loaned her $1,700 in January of 2015 for the car payment, or for the down payment on the car. Then in February and also March of 2015, because I am the co-signer on the car, she did not have the money at the time to make the payments. So I went ahead and made those payments in order to keep our credit in good standing. $234 twice.
Okay. Right.
So the total on that is $2,168, Your Honor.
Tell me about concert tickets.
So we travel extensively and continued to do so through this summer with the agreement that I would go ahead and put up the money on my card and pay for the tickets. Plane tickets, concert tickets, whatever they happen to be. In this case, I'm just requesting that we discuss 2 trips to see the band Fish, one to go to Bend, Oregon, and the other one to go to New York City.
When did she agree to repay you for this date you all went on?
She agreed that when she was back on her feet financially that we would be making repayments.
Okay, how often does she typically pay her share of a date?
10% of the time, perhaps.
So who selected this to be part of the 10%?
Did.
Well, we had, before we purchased these vacations, I was specific with her that while I could cover the money for now, it's not something I expected to have to do in perpetuity. And that when she was finished with school, she is in her last year of school, she would be able to start making payments to repay me. These were loans, these were not gifts.
All right. Yet her contributions when you were unemployed, those were gifts. When she paid the super majority of all the expenses, those were gifts to you. But you won't pay for a concert ticket for her. Gotcha.
What?
All right.
Wait.
Ma'am, you go right ahead.
We did purchase a vehicle together in January, and he did put down a significant portion of the down
When you
payment.
say together, what was the agreement?
We didn't really have an agreement on it. It was just something we were going in on together.
Did you make any payments?
I have made the majority of the payments since the vehicle was purchased.
Why?
I'm the one who drives it, even though I do a lot of driving him around.
I'm inclined to believe there was a discussion. He says he always took public transportation. So certainly you knew that you would be the majority driver when you purchased it. So I believe you either assumed that you would be paying it every month or you all discussed it. Under either circumstance, you took on the responsibility to pay it every month. Why didn't you pay February and March? He's suing you for those 2 months.
I did not have the money in February and March because of school finance stuff.
Okay.
And
you agreed that you didn't pay him. What about the $1,700 down?
He put $1,700 down and I put $1,300 down.
All right. And were you to pay him the $1,700 or not?
We didn't have a discussion about that.
Did he ever mention it to you later? Since January 15, has he mentioned the $1,700?
He's mentioned it since I moved out of the house.
All right, what has he said then?
That I owe him all of the monies.
Okay, so he went 9 months without mentioning it. Sir, is that true?
No, Your Honor.
All right, when did you first mention I want my money?
Actually, what I suggested, in addition to I want my money, is we should sign some sort of promissory note.
When?
Probably several times within the first month, certainly, of purchasing
Okay,
the
January
car.
15th, within the first time you got it.
Yeah. When we
All right,
first
did you
purchased.
present her with one?
No, not until later did I present her
When?
with one. September of 2000.
All right, that's what she said. So what you say is true. He's admitting to it. He presented you with a request to sign a document, and yet he's going to tell me I was asking her verbally for the first month, not just the 9th month, right?
We actually have been getting
I believe that you
along.
were her boyfriend, and I believe that you agreed to pay all of that. I believe that, as she suggests, when you broke up, you were mad and you wanted your money back. The judge doesn't go for that in this courtroom. I'll grant you $468. That's all she owes you. I'm going to conclude that the others were gifts. Have a good day.
How do we personally feel about each other? I don't know. Right now, I'm a little frustrated.
I think that things have gone downhill, and I'm not very happy with the way that things have ended up, but I'm not going to hold any grudges.